It was crowded, it was loud.
It was really chaotic, like there was lines everywhere.
We were going to see Tyler, the Creator. He was going to be at Mohawks.
When I heard these concerts are crazy, so we were like, yeah, we should totally go. The line was super long, the line was going all the way into the street.
Somebody asked if we would move over to the sidewalk because we were crowding the streets. I want to say maybe a minute after she asked us to move, that's when the car came.
It sounded like a car hitting a water barrel. Like it was just this deep thud, followed by, in my head it was silence, but I doubt it was.
Like sirens and loud noises and people yelling and screaming.
I just heard like a car accelerating right behind me, and next thing I know, I was on the ground.
And now there's this like runway with people with bodies and shoes lying everywhere.
You can't even think, like, I can't believe, you know, I was actually in a hit and run accident.
That is where
others
a car
injured
crashed through
after a
barricade
suspected drunk
and into
driver
a crowd
plows
of
through a
25
crowd of people in downtown Austin. It happened around midnight.
I just saw Ashley like fall to the ground. I thought she was dead. And so I was just holding her, trying to figure out if she was or not, until like Cassie had her by the shirt and she just kept going like that and she wasn't waking up, and finally she just hit her and was like, wake up. She just woke up like, I don't really know where she went.
When I saw the picture of myself lying on the ground in my shirt, face down, and people were around me, it was surreal. It was completely surreal. I was face down in my own blood. Like that happens in books and movies. That doesn't happen to me. That doesn't happen to my friends in real life. No one wants to be confronted with their own mortality when you're in college at 19. I feel lucky that I'm alive. I definitely do that. I mean, I was unconscious for 5 minutes on the ground after being struck by a car, and 4 other people died.
There was one girl, I could tell that she was the worst off. Like she was having a really hard time. She was bleeding out of almost every orifice, all of her eyes and ears and nose. So for about 4 minutes, I gave her CPR, tried to talk to her, tried to keep her with us for a little while. All of a sudden I looked up and there was just like lots of cops and fire department and EMS like all around me. So at that point, I just kind of like took my hands off and backed up a little bit. And then I just kind of sat there for a while because I was definitely in shock. I didn't know what was going on or what had just happened. I just knew that it was real.
You see people on the street, and I remember specifically saying like, I want to go help, I want to go help, but what I felt I had was not enough to save the people that were really hurt. I sat down on the ground and I prayed, and I just kept saying like, please help. I know what I have isn't enough.
Seeing strangers come up to me, like picking me up, helping me get to the sidewalk, that was the most incredible part. They gave me, some girl gave me her sweater when I was freezing, and I felt, better just knowing that these people were taking care of me.
I guess the worst thing is like whenever I cross the street at night and like a car's far away but it's still coming, and like even though it's like a walk light on the crosswalk, it's still, I don't know, I just have like a sense of dread, like just washes over me, and it's really bad. I don't like it at all.
For a long time, it really bothered me, just having to rethink the situation and thinking if I could have done something different or, made that decision a couple minutes earlier. It's hard to, I don't even know how to describe it.
You don't want to know what it's really like to see someone die right in front of you. Her face it will all forever be ingrained in my memory. The vision of her fighting so hard to try to stay alive.
I mean, it's very sad to see somebody on the news, be hit by a car or, somebody pass away. But when you're watching those people pass away and there's nothing you can do, it kind of just leaves you at a point where you don't want to talk about it.
For a while, I couldn't stop dreaming about it and thinking about it, and so I guess I just never really forgot about it. I mean, sometimes it does. It still comes into my mind, but you just have to force it out. You weren't hurt as bad as you could have been, and you just have to be happy. honestly.